Good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. Today, no practice, because we won't be talking about practice today, or at least not a public practice. Now, tomorrow is the big day. We have the Cowboys versus Rams scrimmage practice, and I'm imagining that we will see the crowds there big time. In fact, I will dare say that if the NFL, I'm not, excuse me, not say if, when the NFL goes to 18 games, okay, preseason games will probably definitely lose one, maybe two. And what you're going to start seeing is I think they'll be replaced by inter-team practices, because let's be clear here. I want you to think about this for a second. Dak Prescott's not playing in preseason. Your starters are not playing in preseason. This practice against the Rams will be the biggest competition that the players have, the starters will have, until week one. Seriously, this thing is important to A, get through healthy, B, really get some work and stuff in to see how you can put everybody together at one time. They're not playing in preseason, and you're going to be about as live as it gets, so it's going to be key. As you can see out here today, it is really foggy after the earthquake that we had last night. Here we only felt just a little like this for about 10 seconds. Some places it really, really shook and things like that. No aftershocks, or at least if there were, we slept through them. But here's the thing that I find is so funny, because we sit in here always talking about practice. Now, there's the old saying is, you practice like you play, okay? That they'll have a direct correlation, of course. If you look like ass in practice, generally speaking, you probably will look like ass in games. But that's not always the case. Some people are just gamers. Some people look great in practice, but then, start getting nervous and tossing their cookies and things when it comes to actually playing games. Here's the thing that's funny is I've been hearing about Jalen Hurts. I saw somebody posting it up that Jalen Hurts has had like 156 passes without an interception, and it's close to an Eagles record. That he is just like, he is lights on, that Kellen Moore is doing wonderful things and things. And so this, as Cowboy fans, gets us scared. Oh my God, Jalen Hurts is like just hitting it, just perfection. Kellen Moore and him are working out really, really well. Well, here's the thing that's interesting to me, because I don't know if you guys remember this last year from practice, okay? From practice. Remember last year, I believe, now I could be wrong, that while they were having the interceptions counts during training camp of Dak Prescott, that literally ESPN and Fox Sports, all the hosts, Shady and them, Shady came to Cowboys practice for about 30 minutes, didn't actually watch practice, came in there, showed up, talking about all the interceptions and how bad Dak Prescott looked and everything else. He said, Tony Pollard, now that guy, he was looking great, even though he wasn't even there at practice. He was off that day. Be that as it may, as they were counting Dak Prescott's interceptions and, figuring that Dak Prescott was going to have a lot of them, on the flip side there, they were talking about how Jalen Hurts wasn't throwing interceptions in practice, that he was sheer perfection. Dak was throwing interceptions in practice. Jalen Hurts was perfect. Now, I'll remind you of something here as we talking about practice. I believe Jalen Hurts had 15 interceptions last year and didn't throw the ball as much as Dak Prescott. I believe Dak Prescott was the MVP runner-up with 36 TD passes and 9 interceptions to Jalen Hurts' 23 and 15. I love my coffee first thing in the morning. Speaking of coffee, I know where Mike McCarthy gets his coffee at 5:30 in the morning. And I might get up early tomorrow and hang out there and see if I can see Mike McCarthy. And since we're talking about the Eagles and things today, today is, of course, my day with the Eagles, Dan Selio, and when he shows up, Philly 500. And I don't know if they're going to show up, if he's going to show up or not. Now, I will say that allegedly, Dan Selio has been talking the talk. They have gone through and they mercilessly, look, they just beat the shit out of me, okay? They beat the crap out of me. They double team me and things. He said that he was going to meet me here for the Rams game. Rams scrimmage. I don't know if that's actually going to still be the case. Because, see, I talk the talk and I walk the walk. So I'm going to see if Dan Selio, if Dan, who has been talking the talk, will be walking the walk, or if he'll be like Zeke Elliott after he went through the thing and he hurt his cojones. Because, you know, Cowboys Mafia here, we don't play that shit. Are you going to be about it, Dan? I'm asking for a friend. Are you showing up at Cowboys camp? Because I got some things actually I want to talk with Dan about today and things. My observation of the Cowboys and things. They've joked about Zeke Elliott and me talking about Rico Dowdle. Of course, Dan believes that Dak Prescott will never win a Super Bowl with the Cowboys, but would with another team. It would take him over Jalen Hurts. They literally laughed when I said Rico Dowdle. They laughed about that. And they always call Micah missing in action, Parsons. But I think that Mike Zimmer actually has an incredible game plan, or is working this, because we saw, like yesterday, him over Brock Hoffman and basically rushing in the one gap. We've seen him as outside linebacker. You know, it was famously Jesse Holley said that Micah Parsons is selfish because he only wants to be an edge rusher. He doesn't want to be a great linebacker and stuff. And I'm going to say, Jesse, I don't know you. I've never met you, never done work with you or anything else. I mean no disrespect here, but I'm trying to run a business. Apparently, your words are being eaten because it looks like Mike Zimmer is going to be using Micah all over the field to find mismatches, to get the quarterback uncomfortable. This is what I've said to guys before. Micah Parsons is a great edge rusher. The thing is wearing down. You can't constantly be going against a guy every play that you're giving up 70, 80 pounds and think that it's not going to wear you down. It's not going to slow you down. The other thing is at some point, you can learn how to game plan against a guy who is in one spot all the time. If you move Micah Parsons around and you look for situations where a tight end or the fullback or, you know, the center who's a lot slower and's got his hand between his legs, he's shooting the gap and not taking on that physicality where he's able to use his speed and his skill in his hands, he is going to be more effective and probably fresher as the season goes on. And Mike Zimmer is devising ways of doing this. And so the idea and the concept that Micah Parsons is lazy or Micah Parsons is selfish, he's got to learn all kinds of shit, all different ways of rushing from different angles and different spots. And so, eat those words, Jesse. Eat those words. because there's nothing further from the truth on that one. Ultimately, if this team is going to be successful, and I'm going to say it again, I loved what I saw from Mozzie out there. Mozzie Smith, first one on the field, working and trying to get better. And that's another one of those things that I'm going to throw back at Dan Selio, is that guy is putting in the work. He has changed his body. I almost feel like it's Remember the Titans. We're going to change the way we run. We're going to change the way we eat. We're going to change the way we do everything so we get a different result. And if there's one thing I wish that the Dallas Cowboys would learn, Jerry and Stephen Jones, is that you can't just do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. You have to change. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to modify. You've got to give different looks. You've got to put a new wrinkle in on things that you're doing. And if the Joneses could learn that, with the desire that I see out on the field and the work that's going out there, we'd be in a lot better position. All right, good people. Today I'll be in LA taking care of some business while the Cowboys are off. And I hope this fog lifts soon, because I don't know which way GPS will take us, if it's going to be down the Pacific Coast Highway or through Malibu Canyon. I really don't want to be on the mountains in this fog, because nope, not at all. I'll see you guys soon.